Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
This is about to be the most fun video you've seen on YouTube today, or will be as it unfolds live for you. Hello world, my name is Chris Pirillo, and if it seems that I'm a little off, it's because my wife Diana, wonderful wife, best wife in the world, and you can feel free to disagree with me on that, especially if you have a wife. She made me a margarita, which was amazing. She made it in our new Blend Tech blender, which is awesome. I mean, no joke. That thing can blend just about anything you might be able to put into it, although I'd be very careful with that. So it ended up being a very strong margarita. Turns out there was 2 shots of tequila in the margarita, so it was very strong, and I did not realize it was so strong until a few minutes before I started to broadcast. So this is an Ask Me Anything. I have a list of questions from you, the community. Feel free to ask me anything, and you should have all received... Oh, she's blending me something else now. I don't know if you could hear it in the background. You should have all received the free push notification from our free Locker Gnome app available on iOS and Android to let you know that this is happening live. You basically slide or whatever you do to take action. Oh boy. So it begins. And then that will load whatever video we link off to. So if you want to be notified of every video we upload to the Locker Gnome YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, you need to get the app. Another thing I wanted to say is I was not on vacation. I had a good time on vacation. It wasn't vacation, though. It wasn't. It was Hawaii. It was great. It was wonderful. I loved it, even though that didn't really seem to come across in the vlogs. I was very happy to be there, and even though I'm not really an outdoorsy, watery kind of guy, I still had a good time. Just was not a break for me. You'd imagine, well, you're going to Hawaii, you're on vacation. I was not. However, I was able to get a chance to finally play with the newly launched Tagaboom. These guys were at Vlogger Fair. They sponsored it, and Tagaboom is an app that you can use on iOS to basically Uber annotate your media and just invite certain people within your circles to annotate your media. You share a photo, but you ever wanted to add audio to it and share that just within a small group of friends? That's just one feature you'd be able to use in Tagaboom. So check it out. Give it a shot. It is free. Tagaboom. And that, of course, is in the App Store. We'll go ahead and start with a question now. No, I know I could have said some other things, which I'll get to in a second. What would you do if you had a lightsaber? I would learn how to use it. I would not want to wield a lightsaber and hurt myself, potentially, like the Star Wars kid may or may not have done. Poor guy. I would want to, officially, be able to, do this. Well, I can do that officially, but I mean, imagine if I had a lightsaber. I would look impressive, doing it like I could do it. Does that make sense? I'm starting to feel the effects of whatever Diana gave me here. Next question. Do you think YouTube needs any new features? Of course! You're never going to hear me say, no, stop adding features. I think it's interesting to see what they're doing with Google Plus now, trying to cross over identity with comments. I don't think it's going to stop people from being so negative. I mean, I've run into people who are generally miserable people or who project themselves onto other people, no matter which social network they happen to be on. I'm not a fan of people telling me what I should or should not do with my life. When I want an opinion, usually I'll ask for it. Very rarely will I take it unwarranted, unless I know you, and that automatically puts you at a different level. Have you heard of GTA? Grand Theft Auto, the new one, got $1 billion in just a few days. I have heard of it, have not played it. Although, I'm starting to get the feeling like a lot of you guys do the video game thing, and you may be interested in me doing the video game thing. So I'm thinking about constructing a PC or assembling some kind of gaming machine that fits my specifications so that I might be able to try the games that you guys are trying, just to see what they're all about. My problem is, when it comes to gaming, is that I tend to get sucked in. And speaking of being sucked in, Diana has brought back the margarita. All right, how many more shots have you put in this one?
Strong? Not as such.
It's good. It's very good. It's good. I'm saying it's great. It is awesome. I could not have done a better job.
You're like...
Would you like Apple uniting iOS and OS X together like Unity Ubuntu and Unity? Got it. All right. And Ubuntu Touch, or Android uniting with Chrome OS or Windows Phone with Windows. I think eventually iOS and OS X may become the same thing, but right now OS X is optimized for the keyboard and the mouse or some kind of trackpad, and iOS optimized for a touchscreen device like an iPhone or an iPad. And they're really two completely different usability experiences. UX, user experience, is paramount. And I think Microsoft kind of screwed that up, obviously. If you're not keeping track, the current OEM, the only OEM that is making devices around Windows RT is Microsoft. Yikes! That's not to say that, OEMs aren't, eschewing Windows 8 at this stage in the game, but still, there's a bifurcated UX. It's just a bit easier to deal with Windows 8 versus Windows RT. So, I would not like Apple to mix iOS with OS X, if only because of the usability headaches that would be abound. I think they'll eventually kind of figure it out. It works well enough when I use AirPlay on iOS, and that is the number one reason anymore to own an iOS device, is the AirPlay functionality between all the Apple devices, or the wireless transmission of a screen from here up onto an AirPlay monitor or TV that has Apple TV connected to it. Eventually, Miracast should take hold in a more open standard. I don't know how I would exactly position Miracast at this point, but more and more devices are supporting Miracast, which is kind of like a more open Apple. No, I'm sorry. A more open. What the hell did you put in this thing? A more open. I just said it a few seconds ago. AirPlay. That's what it is. Okay. So, next question. Will you be getting an Ubuntu Edge, and why haven't you mentioned a Firefox OS since it came out? Because I don't have either device. I would like to try them. Certainly. I have no problem with either one of them at all. I give every device a fair shake, or at least try to, so that I can have that experience, so that I could speak intelligently to it. Unlike a lot of people who are out there who haven't had the experiences, yet they pretend or put forth that their opinions are fully qualified and that they have had the experiences with various devices. I have, and I try to speak from those experiences, if only because, someone who isn't speaking from experience is speaking out of what? You can answer that question yourself. Another thing I definitely want to mention, the thing that got me through the 6 or so hour journey, both to and from Hawaii, Audible. I was listening to audiobooks and finally got a chance to really catch up on a few of the audiobooks that I had started but just hadn't completed, including Darth Plagueis. And you caught a brief clip of that in the Pirillo vlog that was uploaded the other day. I haven't edited today's yet, but I'm still catching up from the break, quote-unquote break, that I took, because I'm still working on break. It's just when I work remotely, sometimes I don't get as much work done because I'm not as proficient. I'm not at... No, that's the wrong word. Not as efficient when I'm on the road compared to when I'm working at home. So I was very, very happy. I was very happy to have an Audible book on hand, audiobooks. So take a look at audible.com/LockerGnome if you want a 30-day trial and one free audiobook download out of their entire library. Over 100,000 audiobooks for you to listen to, unless you like to read. And if you're watching this video, let's face it, you're probably not much of a reader. That's just a guess. All right, let's see here. I'm going to turn my attention back to the comment stream for the live video feed. Johnny585420, what do you think about NVIDIA Project Shield, and will you be getting one? I think it's an awesome idea. However, from everybody that I've spoken with about it, a lot of geeks, people who like games, and who certainly do like games, even on the Android platform, they're not that thrilled about Shield at all. Not to be confused with Shield, the new television series, which I have not yet watched. It just came out, and I hope to watch that and try to get going with that, initially, rather than having to catch up after the whole thing has been done, like I've been doing with Doctor Who as of late. I haven't had a chance to play with it, so I'm not speaking from experience. Certainly sounds interesting. but I don't know where it really fits in the grand scheme of things. I don't know if you're necessarily going to eschew your iPhone or your current Android device to pick up another Android device, an NVIDIA Shield specifically designed for gaming. Why wouldn't you just get like what is it, the I've got it sitting over there, the controller, Moga controller. You don't know which one it is, do you, hon? She doesn't know. She doesn't game. She games as much as I do, which isn't that much. Although I've got those three screens are over there, and I'm thinking about doing the PC thing.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe trying Minecraft, because a lot of people in our community just go ape over Minecraft. All right. Some people are asking questions that I've already answered, so I'm not going to dive into them, too deeply there. But boy, we got a lot of questions here. Hang on. Oh, that was really strong. Whatever the hell was in there. Mohabedolo asks, so what will you do with your 5S after it got damaged? This is not the 5S that I damaged. I dropped and dented it slightly. There's no break, really. It's just dented at the top. And this is testament to Apple's new iPhone case being a piece of crap. Don't buy it. I wouldn't recommend it. It was kind of overpriced. Hello. And really didn't protect all that much. Maybe the back. Oops, sorry, honey. That was... This is the 5S. This is the 5. The 5. I dented the 5, not the 5S. We only have one 5S right now. Diana has the 5S. I'm on the 5. I'm stuck on the 5 right now. It's a long story. I don't really want to go into it. Either way, I have the 5, slightly damaged 5, which I don't know what I'm going to do with. 64 gig black unlocked. Back when they used to make black iPhones. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. Someone's asking what I think of the Kindle Fire HDX. I think it's a new Kindle tablet. I don't know if this audience is really interested in it, though. I've done videos on the Kindle Fire before, and specifically the latest gen and the first gen, and didn't really get that much traction in this channel. So I don't know if I'm really that interested in looking as much, because you're not interested in it. Most people out there are not, or at least my audience, the core audience, isn't or hasn't been, according to traffic. So I'm not. I'm interested in the sense that it's new and it's from Amazon and it's going to be better, but I'm not speaking from experience. Experience is, that's the word. You guys got to pound into your head, man. Just carve it into your... What do you think of the products Valve has announced, and what do you think it could do to the industry? Well, I had a very good conversation yesterday with Linus Sebastian while we were both waiting for the plane ride home from Hawaii. He was on the same flight as Diana and I, or Diana and me. We were talking about this being the last console generation of sorts, the PS4 and the Xbox One, and I happen to agree with them. We'll go into further detail on that in a future video I'll be uploading to this channel, because it was a good conversation. So I think SteamOS, not having any experience with it, seems like a step in the right direction. I like the idea of it. I don't know how latency is going to work, specifically on the sharing between one device and another on your home network even. Sometimes there could be latency issues. And let's face it, with gaming, you don't want latency at all. Not just with your internet connection, but certainly between the controller and the screen. But I think it's a good idea. In fact, if anything, I think it speaks to the trend of a lot of game developers wanting to eschew traditional models. And I'm talking about eschew, as in get rid of, like cast aside, not eschew, which is like a Darth Vader slipper. That's my eschew that I'm wearing. All right, enough play on words. Play on words don't really work that well when you speak them out loud. I think, though, that getting rid of Windows or removing that as a layer is going to happen on an increasing basis as we roll forward. And if anything, I think Valve is the company to make that happen. I mean, they've got a fantastic library. If they could port more games, if they could get performance up to scratch on Linux, or to have it equal, at least, to the gameplay on Windows, in what you could pull in terms of performance on the same hardware on Windows, if you could pull the same type of performance on Linux, or let's say even OS X, they've got a shot. They really, really do. But at this stage in the game, I think, and this is much to Microsoft's credit, that DirectX is a juggernaut, and OpenGL is absolutely fantastic. Not to take away, and I'm not going to go into the benefits and drawbacks of either platform, just to say that if anything's going to save Microsoft at this point in time, it's probably going to be gaming, because I don't know if Windows is necessarily going to be it. So I look forward to at least trying it for the first time. I think it's the right direction. I argued years ago that there needed to be a game-oriented Linux OS. Look it up. I did that in CPU Magazine when they were still publishing it. I will not want to listen to this video after it's broadcast. I am tripping over every other word. This is the strongest margarita I've ever had. It's not even a margarita at this point. I think it's just tequila with ice and some other kind of flavor inside. Lime flavor. You can put the lime with the coconut. Call me in the morning. What is your take on phone cases? Do you like to hold the natural design of it, or do you like to have protection customization on your phone? I'm a fan of cases, but only for protecting. That's really what I want to do. If anything, I like the jellyfish cases, which I was using on the iPhone 5 for a while. It didn't keep it from a break, which I did record as a video a while ago, but I really wish I would have had a different case on for this particular damage, which is barely visible. I could still sell this thing. Someone would want to buy it, wouldn't they? For some amount of value. I seriously, I have to sell this thing. Oh, speaking of value, go.tagjag.com/free points. You guys, I'm telling you, this is the easiest way to earn points for Amazon gift cards, for applications that would normally cost you money. Here's the thing. I will give to one of you something that might be on your Amazon wish list. Just go ahead and download it to your phone, iOS or Android, US or UK. Go.tagjag.com/free points. The link is in this video's description. Then, what you need to do is, much like I did, take a screenshot of your screen showing how many points you've earned and how many sponsored apps you've downloaded, because today you can earn 1,500 points plus. And just show me. And you just tweet it to me. Say, hey, at Chris Pirillo, here's my current rankings. And then you share your referral code, much like I have a referral code. And that referral code, as I load it up here in a second and move on, I will share with you. Because many people ask for that referral code once they download it. And one of you, next week, will get something from me and Diana, thanks to this sponsor, Feature Points, which my referral link is through go.tagjag.com/free points, and I do that because I want to make sure you guys are tracking with my referral code. It's a nice thing for you guys to do. All right, let me see here. I'm going to pull this up as soon as there we go. There's my referral code. I don't know if you can see it. 5RQXKM. Check it out. One of you guys is going to be lucky, and you'll know who it is. So do that. Tweet a screenshot of your scoreboard of sorts. Show me how much you've earned, which sponsored apps you've downloaded, and one of you is going to be very happy. Speaking of happiness, let's answer another question. Do you think Apple will release UI changes in future revisions or versions of iOS 7 after hearing general consumer backlash? Here's the thing. I don't think that there's been a lot of backlash on iOS 7. I have pointed out several UI inconsistencies and UX hiccups, but I'm a squeaky wheel. More people, or most people, I would say, are happy with the upgrade. So I don't think there are a lot of complaints that Apple's going to address, at least from the general populace. They're not, throwing iOS to the side and jumping to Android. At least I don't see that happening in droves. Apple sold, 9 million opening weekend between the iPhone 5C and the iPhone 5S? That is astounding. Absolutely astounding. And so I don't think they're going to change much. They'll fix bugs. I just don't think they're going to change much. So if you don't like what iOS 7 looks like, you might have to wait for iOS 11. May take a few generations. Because not a lot of people are complaining. And when not a lot of people are complaining, Apple's probably not going to change much. That's just a guess. Rhaenyro asks on YouTube Live, Chris, I have an iPhone 4. Should I buy iPhone 5S or wait for something new? The 5S is an outstanding upgrade. I've enjoyed using Diana's iPhone 5S more than I have the iPhone 5, if only because it's faster, a fantastically better camera. And an upgrade from the 4 to the 5S is a dramatic leap, if only in screen size. Diana, you're knee-jerk going from a 4S to a 5S. Good upgrade?
Awesome upgrade.
And she's an average user. She doesn't see a lot of the things that I see in terms of sloppiness. Yeah. Although, are you happy with the whole pastelish theme?
No.
No, there you go. A girl said that she was not happy with pastels. Just so you know, it's not a. So don't say it looks girly. Diana's about as girly as it gets. Just saying. I saw a pink car today, and I thought of Linus. Linus likes pink.
I know.
I don't think he's ashamed of that either.
And he likes green too.
He's got a pink luggage case, suitcase, luggage thing, and the pink iPhone, or I'm sorry, Android case.
A certain kind of pink, I think.
Oh, you think it's a certain kind of pink? Linus could clarify that.
Yeah.
Chris, should I use my MacBook Air in desktop mode, 23-inch monitor, or in laptop mode, 13-inch built-in? Dude, push as many pixels as you can. Go to 23-inch. I'd imagine you're not going to carry that monitor around with you, though, wherever you go. That would be kind of odd. I've answered a lot of the questions that people keep asking. I don't know if you're... Except for, Chris, are you drunk? Young D404, I don't think I am, but I'm definitely feeling the tequila.